Hello everyone. Today I've got three really super great horror books. The kind that'll kick you in the gut and then punch you right in the soul. Well, those kind of deals, you know, the ones you'll be thinking about long after you read. These ones are simply fantastic. And before we get started, it's finally happened. I now have all 9 of my books that I've written over on Amazon. You can always purchase the PDF or EPUBs through directly at the link in the description, but I finally got them all formatted the correct way and uploaded them all to Amazon so you can have them for your Kindle. In addition to my 6 horror books, I also have 3 nonfiction books if you're interested. 2 of those are about living where I live here in Cambodia. Just guides to let people know about visas and apartments and cost of living here and, you know, things like that. And then I have one called a big book of weird top 10 lists, which is exactly like it sounds. It's the longest book I've ever written. That includes my horror novel. This one, the word count on this one is the most of any book I've written. And this is just a list with all kinds of interesting, weird, strange, bizarre facts and things about the world and nature and TV shows and movies and the internet, the English language, outer space. You got all kinds of stuff in there. And so if you want to check out any of those, I will leave the links in the description. And if you want to join my Patreon, you can get all of those for free. And 5 free horror books every month from other authors as well. So if that's something you're interested in, check out that link. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first book I want to talk about today is another one that came recommended to me, I believe, over on Twitter, or if you want to call it X. I will never call it X. I found it on Twitter. It came from a recommendation from a source I trust. I'd never heard about it. Thought I'd give it a try. And again, it's one of those that just blew me out of the water when I read it. Like, where has this book been all my life? It's a novella, and it's kind of folk horror and cosmic horror mixed, but it does a lot of things really differently and well. And basically, it's about a guy. He's driving down a lone country road one day. He takes his eyes off the road to consult a map. And when he looks back up, there's a deer standing right in the middle of the road. He swerves to avoid the deer, gets into a horrific, very serious car accident. I mean, his leg is smashed to pieces. The car, he sees fire coming from the car, so he crawls over all that broken glass, trying to get away, thinking the car is going to explode. He gets so far, and then his body just gives up and he passes out. Doesn't know if he's going to live or die. But he wakes up in a convent, a small convent on the outskirts of a small village. And the nuns there are kind of unconventional, but they're taking really good care of him. They're patching him up. Now, this place is nothing to write home about. The building itself appears to be crumbling. It appears like out of date. It has no electricity. Windows without any glass or shutters or anything, open air. But they are taking really good care of him. Now, the nuns here, they wear the traditional habits of a nun, but they don't wear the headgear. Like, some of them have their hair pinned up, some of them let their hair fall free around themselves. And they don't, he doesn't see any Bibles, he doesn't see any crucifixes, he doesn't see anybody performing Mass at this convent. But the nuns are very, very nice. They treat him really well, they feed him well. At the same time, there's a priest visiting this convent from the church. The church sent this priest, and the priest is not happy with this convent. He thinks they have strayed from the path of righteousness, and they've strayed from the path of God in how they do things. And he's not too happy about that. But they have a little vineyard where they make their own wine. It's a smaller vineyard. They make their own wine every year, and that's how they live. They barter this wine with people from the village They and the people have kind of a symbiotic relationship. They barter their wine for different services and different favors, and for sometimes money to allow them to continue their convent. And the priest is not happy about that because they don't give anything back to the church. That's his main contention with them. Now, when this man first tastes the wine, he is blown away. It's like the best thing he's ever tasted in his life. He can't quite place what it's about, what's in it, but he knows it has an effect on him. It makes him feel good. It takes away his pain. He feels euphoric after he takes some of this wine. And then his body starts healing like impossibly fast, especially that fractured leg. It didn't take but a few days, and it's healed, like almost no scarring or anything at all. Now, you might be thinking, okay, these nuns are somehow satanic and they're controlled by the devil, and they're going to be cackling and trying to eat this guy. But that's not the thing. Here's the thing about this book. That every year they do have a ritual, a party, more or less, that has a ritual involved, where they celebrate their former Mother Superior, who sacrificed herself in order for them to be able to continue after World War II. The reason this convent is so messed up is because it was bombed and the church was no help. They didn't help this convent at all, and they had to rely on themselves for years and years and years in order to survive. And yes, things are going to happen, and we're going to find out that the part of this ritual does require bloodshed. You're going to have to read about how all that turns out. But here's the thing: it's like the nuns are not the bad people in this book. Like you think. You know, they're in touch with this cosmic entity in order to survive. But when you hear their backstory, it kind of makes sense. They are written in a very sympathetic manner in this book, which I really like. And you get none of this. They're secretly evil, or they're performing, they're sacrificing babies or something to the devil. It's nothing like that. But we are going to find out they do have some very strange rituals going on there. Very creepy rituals going on. But again, at the end of this book, I did not feel like they were the bad people. And I really love that, because it gives what would normally be the villains in the book a very sympathetic tone. And for a novella, man, this one is just packed full of the lore of this place and their relationship with the village, their relationship with the main church. And we'll find out about all those secrets and everything as it goes along. And it's simply fantastic. I was glued to the pages with this one. And yes, I loved it. Of course, I highly recommend it. And there's a link in the description where you can pick up your copy. And next we have Crafting for Sinners. Yeah, man, if you want a good, bloody, gory, cult story, and it's kind of a religious kind of horror, maybe, kind of. This is the book for you. I've been hearing a lot about this. I finally got the chance to read it, and I'm glad I did. And it's there's a lot of things in here. A lot of things in here to digest as the book goes along. A lot of secrets, a lot of things to uncover. But the basic premise is that there's a woman, she's gay, and she lives with her girlfriend in a very conservative small town. And there's a big mega church that's kind of in charge of the town. They've kind of taken over. Everybody's involved with this mega church. And of course, they preach homosexuality as a sin, and witchcraft is a sin, and Ouija boards are a sin, and watching TV shows is you get the idea, right? You're familiar with that. And but she is a crafter. She likes to knit and crochet, and the only crafting store in town, unfortunately, is owned and run by the church. But she makes it a point to go in there and as often as she can to just shoplift everything she needs. because security is basically nil. She never sees any cameras anywhere, and nobody's ever stopped her. And so whenever she needs supplies, she just goes in there and shops from this craft store belonging to the megachurch. Well, she runs out of yarn one day. She's got a big project coming up, and she needs to get it done that night. And so she tells her girlfriend, I'm going to go to the craft store, and I'll be back. But when she gets there, things are going to turn horrific. She gets locked in. She gets caught shoplifting this time, but she's not going to accept it when the employee tries to make her go to the back of him. Things are going to get out of control. She's going to wind up murdering him with a pair of knitting needles accidentally. But we're going to find out as the story goes that they don't care about her shoplifting at all. She is there because they worship something ancient, something extremely evil, and they require a certain sacrifice so they don't release what they think is a demon into the world. And this year, she is the chosen sacrifice for this church in the bowels of their crafting store, where there are tunnels and ancient tomes and skulls and bones everywhere. And she is the sacrifice. And so now she's locked in this crafting store. She's got all these employees who are actually members of this cult, members of this church, dedicated to the cause, chasing her around. And she has to find whatever supply she can in a crafting store, trying to defend herself, trying to survive and get away. And she is going to get bruised, and she is going to get bloodied, and things are going to take a horrific turn near the end. And will she make it out of that, or will she not? Because there are a lot of twists and turns in here, and you're going to have to read about all those. But yeah, this one is just great, man. It's full of action. It's got a lot of great kills, and the location inside of a crafting store to set this kind of story is just brilliant, I think. And it really works well. Especially when you consider the town and her circumstances. You know, they have to hide the fact that they're in love with each other because of the religious implications in this conservative town, you know. Yeah, it's simply fantastic, and you are going to love it. It's wild. It's a lot of fun to read. It gets bloody and gory, a lot of twists and secrets. And, of course, I highly recommend it. And, of course, there's a link in the description where you can pick up your copy. And next we have Return to Neverberry. Actually, this is a twofer, because there's two books in this series, and they both follow the same pattern. And I think together they really make a great read. Like, you can put them together, read them one right after the other, and you'll be fine. The first one is called Welcome to Neverberry, and this is the book that's just coming out, called Return to Neverberry. Now, what I like about it is that it's small town horror set in England, and just like my latest novella, Tales of Salvation, which you can buy on Amazon, cheap plug, but still, it's one of these books that's a collection of stories, but they're all based in this weird, strange, horrific little town, right? And so they all lend themselves to reading less like a collection of different stories and more like one cohesive unit, if that makes sense. Because this author takes us on a tour. He's like a tour guide for his little town there of Neverberry, and it's fantastic. Because most of these stories start out in innocuous locations, starts out very innocently with people, and it doesn't take long before the proverbial shit starts hitting the fan horrifically. I mean, you know, you got a used bookstore that's going to turn into something completely different. You got a group of bicycle enthusiasts, and that story is going to take a couple of turns. For a short story, twisting and turning things around like that at the end, that was absolutely fantastic to read. And all these little places, all these people in this town. It's one of these towns where everything is strange and weird and things get bloody all the time. They have like cosmic creatures that'll reach their huge man-eating tentacles out of the sky, and creatures that live in the bottom of the lake there that will reach their tentacles and grab you out of the water. And it's just out there, man, in a good way. This is one of those weird in the best possible way kind of books. And in between, though, it's also very, very humorous. There are some very funny situations and very funny dialogue. And the author leans into that a little bit without taking away from any of the spooky, gory stuff that we all love, you know. Yeah, both of these books together, they're absolutely fantastic. I'll leave the link down below for Return to Neverberry, but on that Amazon page, you can also go to the page, pick up the first book. And yeah, I highly recommend both of them. Because if you like small town horror, if you like a collection of stories that lets you on the inside track, the inside secret of what a creepy little small English town can be, and I love all that stuff, then this is definitely a series you want to pick up and read. And it's fantastic. Yes, of course, I highly recommend it. And yes, there are links in the description to get your copy. And as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time and spending it here with me. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.